didn't know any better, I'd swear that they were double dipping on a dual identity. Here's a look at the brand new McFarlane toys. This is the DC Silver Age McFarlane Toys Digital Two-Face. Harvey Dent has led a deeply conflicted life, possessing a split personality that veers between the two extremes of good and evil. Dent goes by the name of Two-Face. It's an apt description of his physical appearance, scarred by acid into outwardly becoming the monster he once hid away from the world. Two-Face has become a tragic figure, and one of Batman's most unpredictable and dangerous opponents. I know when it comes to your luck with Harvey, you only have a 50% chance. I was hoping, though, when it came to Harvey, I had a 100% chance of finding the figure. Sure enough, I did. It was on the Facebook selling group, and I bought this from Popeye the Toy Man. Yeah, if you guys are interested and would like to get some hot DC Multiverse figures, you can click the link and check out his page. In the meantime, though, let's grab the tape measure and see how tall the figure stands. It'd be safe to say that, yeah, because he's just a different deco, that the figure is in fact going to stand the same as the one we've already had a look at, this week? Yeah, he is. 7 inches in height, or this Two-Face is going to stand the same at about 17.5 centimeters tall. A different deco Dent, yes, but it is still the exact same figure as the Platinum Edition that we've already had a look at. You know, though, what's funny is that we looked at really the regular release second. Technically, we really should have looked at him first, but to be all honest, though, I actually like this deco of him a little bit more than the black and white. Although, if you guys have had the chance to find these in the wild, let me know if you've got the Platinum Edition or the regular version. Either way, again, as you can see, the bodies are going to be exactly the same. This body also seems very similar, in fact, to the one that we got from Mattel, 20 years ago, even more than that. This was from the DC Universe Classics days. Very similar style, although they sort of phoned it in when it came to his shirt and his tie. They haven't split it at all down the middle. At least the one that we get from McFarlane Toys did do that. And another one that's one of my personal favorites. This was from the DC Direct days. Unfortunately, though, with his legs being so close like this, I always have to kind of rely on the display stand. But the one thing I really liked about this Two-Face, there we go, is that he's pulled from actually the front cover of Secret Files. I think the backstory of some of the most dangerous rogues of Gotham City. Two-Face was on there. This set also consists of Hugo Strange, Poison Ivy. What was the other one? Oh, and Joker. Yeah, Killing Joke Joker. One thing that was really also neat about this, if you guys can actually see, he did have a flipping coin. I'm surprised, actually. Oh, no! I was going to say, I'm surprised I haven't lost it. I know, it's just down there. It's just down there. He had a little flipping coin that was on the end of his finger. Great looking head sculpt, though. Still drives home the point I wanted to make that I love zanier hair on Two-Face. I never really want to have the character bald. The moment you make a character bald like that, he loses some of the appeal in my eyes. Perhaps not plural, no, but check out the peeper on the one side of Two-Face's scarred face. No, don't point at it. Just look at it. We'll be also looking at some of the other things that come included with the figure as well. The list is quite small, though. First, he does come included with something that's probably not going to be stored away in your collection sheet. This McFarlane Toys Digital Redemption card. We've already scratched away one of them when we looked at the Platinum Edition release of Harvey. On the back of the card, though, all you have to do is go to www.mtd.gg to download the McFarlane Toys Digital Viewer app on your Mac or PC. Yeah, that font is pretty small. Scratch above to reveal your one-time code, create your account, and log in. Then click on Redeem Code in the left panel of the screen and follow the instructions in the pop-up window. Could you even see that? You probably can actually see that a little bit better than I can. Let's just grab off to the side here my nail clippers. I always use these to clip the little ties, of course, that keep the figures inside their plastic prisons. Let's go ahead and scratch this. I know it's not going to be the exact same code as the other one. It'd be quite funny if it was. Let's scratch this away. And again, you don't have to be the one that says, I was the one that redeemed the code. Then everybody's going to be pointing at you, like they're going to be awkwardly pointing at Harvey. Got that? Get it? Got it? Okay, so good. Let's move that off to the side. Again, what's interesting, though, is that we're looking at the regular release of Harvey Dent actually after the fact of looking at the Platinum Edition, when really, crisscross applesauce, it should have been flipped around the other way. This card actually is so much more closer to resembling the actual figure, unlike the black and white that we looked at before. And yet, though, it's the exact same trading card as the one already. Exact same image. Exact same read-up also on the back. His debut is still the same. It's Detective Comics Volume 1, number 66. Way back when. Jump into your DeLorean to go back to August 1942. And don't, whatever you do, don't alter the temporal stream. Usually when it comes to things like this, in case you're curious, I'm not going to be wasting I'm not going to be putting two of these side by side inside my plastic sheets. That's just going to be occupying space for another card. When it comes to things like this, usually what I do is I double it up. He's got a double personality. I also have double up cards. Kind of funny, ironic when you think about it. What's also ironic, too, is that the figure comes included with the exact same display stand. I guess that's not really irony. It's McFarlane Toys Digital. The other Harvey Dent also had this as well, because both of them were part of McFarlane Toys digital releases. The actual display stand obviously just has one neighboring peg to the far corner that can plug into either one of his shoes. You have to choose which one. You can't have it on both. No, it doesn't work that way. One peg, two shoes. You can't split up the pegs. I guess you could, but I mean, you'd have to kind of cut it in the middle, and I don't have a sharp enough laser to do that. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to cut it. No, literally, it's not going to cut it. Let's move that off to the side. Okay, so the one issue that I sort of had with the other Two-Face carries over and again doubles up when this release. The figure does have, a flipping coin, but the coin happens to be on the ends of his fingers, and there's no way to remove it. I suppose you probably could pry this off, but why would you do that? You'd only just damage his thumb, you'd damage the finger, you'd cry and go upstairs, then tell that, your mom and your dad, hey, this guy told me to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't tell you to start ripping coins off people's fingers, real or otherwise. So yeah, unfortunately though, while this figure doesn't have a swappable hand, it's really though the one thing I really wish this figure could have had. I can get behind why they can't use the guns. I mean, lasers, maybe, could they have given this guy at least a laser gun instead of a pew-pew pistol? I don't know. But yeah, he doesn't have a gun. I mean, I'm sure you probably could pull a gun from any one of the figures we've gotten from before. I used the Tommy gun actually from the DC Universe Classics Two-Face, and I got that right now displayed with the black and white. I might actually even, in fact, being that this is kind of my favorite of the two, I might use maybe the Tommy gun with this figure instead of the black and white. I'm sorry, black and white Harvey Dent. You were a good looking figure, but I think I like this guy a little bit more. So yeah, while unfortunately though he can't remove the coin from the ends of his fingers, he doesn't come with also a swappable hand. The hand isn't scarred at all either. I guess I don't necessarily expect this to have a scarred hand. The fact at least it's painted in green. It's a crazier looking Two-Face. I prefer really to have Two-Face outlandish in colors like this. I mean, again, like when you're looking at the two, one would look a little bit more realistic as having one burned side of your face and psyche. While this one, I'm sure would appeal to probably fans that like the Batman animated series version of Two-Face, Harvey Dent, would probably maybe gear towards maybe getting this figure over this one. But I like more the Silver Age look to Two-Face, where, like his colors have to go crazy. Purple on the one side, orange on the other. Even he's got a split-colored tie and shirt. One is dark purple, then he's got a lighter purple on the other side with his white shirt. The head sculpt, I feel, looks a lot nicer with the regular release. Again, I like green face Two-Face over regular, like the red version that we've already had a look at. The hair seems exactly the same, though. I mean, if you're looking at the colors, maybe this one has a little bit more gray in it, but I think I'm only just like nickel and diming the differences between the two. The faces are seeming to be exactly the same. I mean, paint-wise, too. I feel like maybe this one might have a little bit more reddish coloring to the skin complexion, where this one comes across a little bit paler. The green definitely does work better for me, and I still like hair on the side of scarred Two-Face. Don't give me bald Two-Face, because then he loses the appeal. You can see, like, there's the sneer on the one side, very large eye on the other, or a large eye just above that, and a normal face on the other side. Spin this around so you guys can see this. Now, when it comes to his body, if you're kind of going back and looking at the source material, you'll probably recognize, though, that his jacket sort of has, like, a basket pattern, like a crisscross, like a little grid pattern. They can't seem to do that though with this figure. What we only get instead is a purple jacket on one side and then the orange on the other. Spectre Creative, I think, is a YouTube channel I really like enjoying watching his videos. He was actually talking about the cost of producing figures, and he said a lot of it has to really do, when it comes to the budget, going to the deco of a figure. When you start to kind of look at things like webbing on Spider-Man, or in this case, if you were to put a grid pattern on Two-Face, that would cost an additional amount of budget for the company then to produce a figure with that. And it may have then skyrocketed the price, or it may have also eaten away at what they could afford to produce the figure. Instead of getting us the grid look, what we get, though, is just the regular purple jack, which is fine. I would have really loved if they could have gone and done something similar to what we have on the card. Just so, again, like it would be look the closest of what we're getting here. The actual jacket looks, again, nice. It's a softer material, obviously, because it's going to be covering over the top of his torso, which I don't know if I talked too much about when we looked at the other one, but it seems like he almost does have a torso crunch, where he can move it up and down this way. Of course, when it comes to his lower legs, right split down the middle, so you've got sort of orange tang on the one side and grape Kool-Aid on the other. What's different, though, is his shoes. As opposed to being the black shoes from before, he actually has himself now brown shoes. You hear that, kids? Brown! That's a quote from The Simpsons. Yeah, he still has the pegs on the bottoms of his feet. Nothing changes here at all. I guess they probably could have altered the footwear a little bit, so he would have had like maybe spats on one side, or like, you know, the little metal plates on the one side. I don't feel like you really need to change too much. Footwear I think footwear can be fine to stay the same. He's split everywhere else up the middle, so I mean, I don't feel the need like they have to change his shoes all of a sudden. For the figure's articulation, if you're familiar already with the other Two-Face, this one's gonna be exactly the same. Wait, it is? Yeah. Weren't you guys following along? Head's gonna rotate, yeah, all the way around. You can rotate it up or hinge it up and down. Of course, the head does rotate back and hinge back and forth as well. The upper torso, as mentioned already, does seem to have a crunch. You can feel it, or you'll have to at least believe me when I say I can feel it. That upper torso also gives him a good, generous ball joint, so you can rotate the figures all the way around for the top of his torso. As for rotating, his arms also do the same. They hinge out at a 90-degree angle bend, or if those prefer to say this as a T pose, he does also form the capital T. Figure does have a swivel at the bicep, a double hinge on the elbow. It doesn't matter whether you look at the evil side or you look at the good side. The hands also rotate all the way around with a hinge back and forth. Legs split out. They seem to make more of a noise here, I've noticed here, with this version of Two-Face than on the other one. And you can get about that far of a splits. Ouch! Ooh, that's gotta hurt. You can see there's also as well the peg joints working behind the scenes. It also seems like they have ratcheted joints. See the little ledge of plastic right there? Are we spending so much time looking at Two-Face's crotch? I'm sorry, we'll stop that. Swivel a little bit at the top of the thigh. More generous of a ball joint, a ball hinge joint, or a double hinge joint in his knees. And then, of course, he's got the ankle pivot, an ankle rocker, and a toe articulation point as well. Of the really two, I do prefer this one a little bit more. I mean, again, if you're going to be giving us a Silver Age Two-Face, go all out when it comes to the colors. I guess it probably was working better that we did start things first looking at the black and white right down the middle, because I think really between the two, even though this is really the Platinum Edition figure, this is ideally the chase figure. I'd be chasing more down trying to get this figure over this one. Funny though enough that I tried to order this one through Amazon. Not that this is obviously a side tangent, but I tried to order this from Amazon. I had already purchased it. It said it was ready to ship, and it even gave me an estimated delivery time of Thursday. Funny though enough, I would go back then again, and it would say, not only did it say, we would advise you when the delivery would be arriving, but then when I clicked the listing for Two-Face, he was sold out. What the? Luckily though, I was able to go to Popeye the Toy Man over on the Facebook selling group. Got this guy for a great price. And again, I really do, even though I like really this one a little bit more than this one, happy to have more than one Two-Faces on my shelf. I mean, he's going to have a split psyche, a double personality. Why not have double releases from McFarlane Toys? I had mentioned this in the other review of Two-Face, that I do really feel as we're getting near the end of the lifespan of the DC Multiverse line and what McFarlane's been doing so well for the last several years, I feel like we're really getting some of the best figures ever. I mean, if you were to look at a figure like Two-Face, a Silver Age Two-Face, no doubt, I don't think we would have ever gotten this for the last several years that they've been doing. I mean, a lot of it really had so much tied into like short-run miniseries comic characters and deep-cut characters that didn't really appeal to every collectors out there. I mean, for me, I'm an old guy. I love the idea of getting now Silver Age characters with the way that they look from the comics that I read as a kid. Two-Face, though, looks fantastic. And the fact that we get ourselves doubled up releases of him, a double dip, but a double dip that's justified, at least in my eyes. I mean, again, for a release of Two-Face, easily you could release another 3 or 4 of these in different decos, and this guy behind the camera will still scoop them up. Speaking of scooping up, though, again, the figure does have the one issue with the one hand I mean, he always has to be holding the coin. If you don't like that look, I suppose you probably could try to find a green hand. I mean, what other figure would have had a green hand about this size? No, not Robin. Robin would have had a gloved hand. Martian Manhunter? No, Martian Manhunter would have had maybe probably a more darker green. Maybe like Ambush Bug. Would Ambush Bug maybe work? I'm going to have to look. I mean, in the end, though, I would want to really have Two-Face displayed with a coin in his hand. I guess it's somewhat redundant for me then to complain that the figure shouldn't really have more than one option available. I always just really feel like options are available. If you can't use the plastic to give this guy a pistol, use the plastic instead to give him some interchangeable hands. There's been other contenders out there in the market that they've released in the past where he gets extra hands and you think to yourself, what am I going to do with all these extra hands? Two-Face would be a prime example of a character where I would say more hands would have been ideal. I mean, clearly he can't have a pistol, so give him a different alternate relaxed hand for the one side, and then give him a hand on the other that doesn't have a coin in it. What do you guys think of this figure? Let me know down below in the comment section. Between this and the Platinum Edition, which one do you think is a better deco for Dent? If, again, you guys are interested and would like to get this one for yourself, I got this from Popeye the Toy Man. over on the Facebook. If you guys, again, you want to click the link, check out some of the listings that he has available. And speaking of the listings, I mean, certainly if you guys want to be following the listings of what I'm doing here on this channel as well, a shameless plug. Make sure, though, if you enjoyed this video, do it a solid and throw it a like. But if you guys did want to stick around for more so, and I hope so, hit that subscribe, turn on that bell, and you can always really go back and check out also the playlist that I've done for McFarlane Toys or the DC Multiverse. There's tons of stuff in there. Maybe it's a good chance that you may have missed out some of the older videos. Feel free to go back and give those a gander. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.